Welcome to Science Lab. The signs are happening because Lord Jesus Christ is coming. Every day we are looking at some of the great signs that are happening around us.
In this episode, we are going to look at some of the technological advancements in this last days.
Google is quietly experimenting with holographic glasses and smart tattoos. The search giant has been working on funding a new generation of wearable technology.
A simple pair of sunglasses that projects holographic icons, a smartwatch that has a digital screen but analog hands, a temporary tattoo that, when applied to your skin, transforms your body into a living touchpad, a virtual reality controller that lets you to pick up objects in digital worlds and feel the weight as you swing them around.
Those are some of the projects Google has quietly been developing or funding, according to white papers and demo videos, in an effort to create the next generation of wearable technology devices. The eyewear and smartwatch projects came from the Search Giant's Interaction Lab, an initiative aimed at intertwining digital and physical experiences. It's part of Google Research, an arm of the Search Giant with roots in academic that focuses on technical breakthroughs. The Interaction Lab was created within Google's hardware division in 2015 before it was spun out to join the company's research arm about 2 years ago. According to the resume of Alex Olol, a senior Google researcher previously worked at X, the company's self-described monoshot factory, and ATAP, Google's experimental hardware branch. The goal of the Interaction Lab is to expand Google's capabilities for rapid hardware prototyping of wearable concepts and interface technology. Olol writes, its initiatives appear to be more science experiment than product roadmap, with the likely goal of providing ideas rather than competing with the Apple Watch or Snapchat spectacles. But taken together, they provide a glimpse at Google's ambitions for wearable tech. The other projects were collaborations with researchers from universities around the world. At least 2 of them, the VR controller and smart tattoos, were partly funded through Google Faculty Research Awards, which support academic work related to computer science and engineering. The efforts highlight Google's close ties with the academic community, a bridge to the company's beginners as the Stanford University Grad School project by co-founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin that grew into a global behemoth with deep hooks into our lives. Google and Olol confirmed the company had developed or funded the projects. A project called Skin Marks uses a rubber tattoo to transform your skin into a touchpad. The tattoos, which are loaded with sensors, are applied to a part of the body, like the ridge of the person's knuckles or the side of a finger. The sensors can be triggered by traditional touch or swipe gestures, like you'd use on your phone. But there were also a few gestures that are more specific to working on the skin's surface. You could squeeze the area around the tattoo or bend your fingers or limbs to activate the sensors. The researchers write in the 2017 white paper, the benefit of using your skin as an interface is tapping into the more fine motor skills than human beings naturally have. Being able to bend and squeeze it instinctive so the movements make it more natural or engage with technology. Interacting with your own skin and limbs also means you can do it without looking. The tattoos are made by screen printing conductive ink into a tattoo paper. The paper is then thermocured so that it can apply to the skin. Some of the prototype tattoos include cartoon drawing or light-up displays. The experiment, led by researchers at Saarland University in Germany, is partly funded through a Google Faculty Research Award. The researchers write, through a vast reduced tattoo thickness and increased stretchability, a skin mark is sufficiently thin and flexible to conform to irregular geometry like flexure lines and protruding bones. Google isn't the only tech giant that has experimented with the skin in monoshot project. In 2017, Facebook unveiled a project that could let people hear and disappear words through vibrations on the skin. The concept is simple to braille, in which tiny bumps represent letters and other elements of language. But instead of running your hand over those bumps, you did feel frequencies in different patterns on your forearm from a sleeve worn on your wrist. The initiative was one of the marquee projects of Building 8, Facebook's experimental hardware lab. After major struggles, the lab was shuttered a year later. There are some small tattoos like the Rotex E tattoo, which will just sit against your skin and it will check all your vitals. So this biometric sensor can measure your ECG, and in the future they plan to measuring your blood pressure, your skin temperature and your hydration level. So it can do all sorts of things that a normal fitness tracker could do, but in a much more compact skin-tight form factor. All this information is beamed to an app. And in the future, they hope to do more gestures control so that it can have even more futuristic feel to it. We have seen many technological advancements happening around us, but there is more. Don't go anywhere, we'll meet you after a short break. Welcome back to Science Lab. The signs are happening because Lord Jesus Christ is coming. Before the break, we saw some of the technological advancements that is happening around us, and let's continue exploring even more. Google announced that it's working on developing the next futuristic technology beyond smartphones, tattoos that turn the user into a human touchpad. Meanwhile, scientists are developing something way more sinister using similar skin drawing technology to track its wearer's movement.
Google is developing smart tattoos that, when applied to the skin, will transform the human body into a living touchpad via embedded sensors in the ink. No, this is not science fiction. The wearable project is called SkinMarks.
SkinMark utilizes Roman tattoos to create the next generation of wearable technology devices, CNET reported, citing white papers and demo videos. So how does the technology work? The sensor-driven tattoos are applied to the part of the body, preferably one where you swipe up and down with ease like an arm. The sensor can be triggered by traditional touch or swipe gestures as we perform daily on smartphones. However, there are few specific gestures that are related to the appendices of human. You could squeeze the area around the tattoo or bend your fingers or limbs to activate the sensors. The project is in part being conducted by researchers at Saarland University in Germany, who wrote in a white paper that the benefit of using skin as an interface is tapping into the fine motor skills that human beings naturally have. SkinMarks is partly being funded through Google Faculty Research Awards. Interacting with your skin and limbs also mean that you would be able to do actions without looking. That is also applicable possibly for VR. The tattoos are made by screen printing conductive ink onto tattoo paper, which rubs away after use. Some of the prototype tattoos include cartoon drawing or light-up displays. Through a vastly reduced tattoo thickness and increased stretchability, a SkinMark is sufficiently thin and flexible to conform to irregular geometry like flexure lines and protruding bones, the researchers wrote. Although Google's skin tattoo isn't a spine device yet, other researchers led by Kunjang Yu, Bill T, Cook Associate Professor of Mechanical Engineering at the University of Houston, have developed a similar form of electronics known as drawn-on-skin electronics, allowing malfunctional sensors and circuits to be drawn on the skin with an ink pen. They then use this technology as a wearable tracker for biometrics data. While Google's idea is for fun, it could take a quick and disastrous Orwellian turn. It is applied like you would use a pen to write on a piece of paper, said Yu. We prepare several electronic materials and then use pens to dispense them. Coming out, it is liquid. But like ink on paper, it dries very quickly. The researchers report in Nature Communications that the technology allows for collections of more precise, motion artifact-free health data, solving various long-standing problems of collecting precise biological data through a wearable device when the subject is in motion, according to Hurek Alert. The imprecision may not be important when your Fitbit registers 4,000 steps instead of 4,200, but sensors designed to check health function, temperature, and other physical signals must be accurate if they are to be used for diagnosis and treatment, Hurek Alert writes. Read that again slowly and look around you. With what's happening right now globally, it is really out of the realm of possibility to suggest this technology could be used for contact tracking or monitoring COVID patients. Believe it or not, smart tattoos aren't new. Google and Motorola had a patent for a lie detector utilizing a skin neck tattoo going back as far as 2012, exactly like the current skin marks project. That patent stated that the tattoo was only temporary with an embedded microphone. There is no information available whether or not Google abandoned its project to be one of the world's lie detector with a rub-off tattoo. If this sounds like something I've read in the Bible of Revelation, you are correct. The book of Revelation warns that during the tribulation, every person will be required to accept a mark which will signify worship of one world leader and be necessary for commerce. Imagine if a built-in lie detector was part of this technology. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their forehead, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Many are concerned that acceptance of such technology is conditioning people for when the actual mark of the beast is implemented, when often starts off as voluntary can just as easily become mandatory, and whereas tech itself may be neutral, in the hands of the wrong person, it could be extremely dangerous. Imagine the technology of today in the hands of Hitler. People have long debated the meaning of the mark of the beast. It still remains to be seen if the mark will be digital tattoos, microchipped under the skin, or some other forms of biometric pavement using the hand, such as Amazon Pay. But there is no denying it. Our generation appears to be the first in history to have the technology to fulfill this prophecy.
Is foretold in the Bible is happening again in our lifetime. All this technological advancement shows that indeed we are living in the last days. Lord Jesus Christ is coming again very soon. Thank you for watching this episode. Don't forget to tune in to Science Lab next time.
Before we end the show, we would like to ask you a question from this episode. What is the name of the smart tattoos project that Google is developing? Option A, skin marks. Option B, trust stamp. And option C, electronic tattoo.
If you know the correct answer, send it to our email ID sciencelab@angeltv.org. If you have missed any of the episodes, don't worry, you can watch it again in our Science Lab YouTube page. But don't forget to like, share, comment on the video.
And also ask your friends and relatives to watch the Science Lab so that they will know that we are living in the last days. Remember, signs are happening because Lord Jesus Christ is coming.
Maranatha.